Welcome to Smiley Toon TV, the place where creativity meets joy. We explore fascinating ideas, ignite your imagination, and spark positive thinking, all with a smile. Ready to embark on a fun journey of discovery? Let's get started and fill your mind with happiness and inspiration. The moment of now. Mindfulness, the secret to living in the now. In the heart of the city, where skyscrapers kissed the clouds and the hum of traffic formed a constant backdrop, lived a busy executive named James. His life was a whirlwind of meetings, deadlines, and endless emails. Each day bled into the next, a blur of corporate jargon and high-stakes decisions. He wore his busyness like a badge of honor, believing that productivity equated to success. Yet, beneath the polished surface of his professional life, a gnawing sense of discontent lingered. James was the epitome of a modern-day workaholic. His mornings began before dawn, fueled by strong coffee and a relentless agenda. He would race through his day, checking off tasks with mechanical precision, but as the sun dipped below the horizon, he often found himself feeling hollow. The evenings were no reprieve. They were filled with networking events and late-night phone calls, leaving little time for reflection or relaxation. He had lost touch with the simple joys of life, the moments that once brought him happiness. One particularly hectic Friday, after a week that felt like a marathon, James attended a corporate retreat. The agenda was packed with motivational speeches and team-building exercises, but the real draw for him was the promise of a weekend away from the office. As he arrived at the retreat center, nestled in a serene forest, he felt a flicker of excitement. Perhaps this escape would offer a much-needed respite from his chaotic life. The first evening was filled with the usual corporate banter, but as the sun began to set, the retreat leader introduced an unexpected session: mindfulness meditation. James scoffed internally, dismissing it as yet another buzzword in the corporate lexicon. He had always believed that sitting still and contemplating was a waste of time. However, curiosity piqued. He decided to stay and observe. Sitting cross-legged on the floor, surrounded by colleagues who seemed far more open to the experience, James felt a wave of discomfort wash over him. The leader guided them through a series of breathing exercises, encouraging them to focus on the present moment. At first, James struggled to quiet his mind. Thoughts of work, unfinished projects, and looming deadlines invaded his consciousness like unwelcome guests. But gradually, as he focused on his breath, he felt the tension in his shoulders begin to ease. The leader spoke softly about the importance of being present, of embracing the now rather than getting lost in regrets of the past or anxieties about the future. Joy lives in the present moment, she said, and the only way to access it is to let go of distractions. James found himself intrigued. Could it really be that simple? He had spent so much time chasing after success and happiness, only to find himself perpetually dissatisfied. As the session continued, James began to notice the world around him with new clarity. The gentle rustle of leaves outside, the warmth of the sun filtering through the windows, the rhythmic sound of his own breathing. Each sensation became more vivid. For the first time in a long while, he felt a sense of peace wash over him. It was as if he had been awakened from a long slumber, and the realization struck him. He had been living life in a fog, missing out on the beauty that surrounded him. The following day, inspired by his newfound awareness, James decided to explore the retreat center's grounds. He wandered along a winding path that led to a tranquil lake. The water shimmered under the morning sun, and he paused to take it all in. He noticed the vibrant colors of the wildflowers, the playful dance of dragonflies, and the soft lapping of the water against the shore. Each detail seemed to pulse with life, and for the first time, he felt a profound connection to his surroundings. Sitting on a bench by the lake, he closed his eyes and breathed deeply. The air was fresh, filled with the scent of pine and earth. In that moment, he understood that the relentless pursuit of success had blinded him to the richness of life. He had been so focused on achieving goals that he had neglected to savor the journey. The realization was both liberating and humbling. As the retreat came to a close, James carried the lessons of mindfulness with him. He returned to the office with a renewed perspective, determined to integrate this practice into his daily life. At first, it was challenging. The demands of his job were relentless, and the old habits of rushing and multitasking crept back in. But he persevered, carving out moments throughout his day to pause, breathe, and reconnect with the present. He started small, taking a few minutes each morning to meditate before diving into his emails. He began to notice how much more focused and productive he was when he approached his tasks with mindfulness. Meetings transformed from mundane obligations into opportunities for genuine connection and collaboration. He found joy in the simple act of listening, truly hearing the ideas and concerns of his colleagues. One afternoon, as he sat in his office overlooking the bustling city, James took a moment to reflect. The chaos outside continued unabated, but within him, there was a calm that he had never known before. He realized that the secret to living in the now was not about escaping the demands of life, but about embracing them fully. It was about finding joy in the little moments, a shared laugh with a coworker, the satisfaction of completing a project, the quiet moments of solitude. As the months passed, James became an advocate for mindfulness within his company. He introduced workshops and encouraged his team to take breaks, to step outside, and to appreciate the beauty of their surroundings. He watched as the culture of the office shifted, as employees began to engage more authentically with one another and their work. Productivity soared, but more importantly, so did morale. In the end, James discovered that real joy exists only in the now. It was not hidden in future promotions or accolades, but in the richness of each moment. He learned that life, with all its challenges and triumphs, was meant to be experienced fully. And as he found peace in the present, he realized that he was not just living, he was truly alive. Thank you for watching this episode of Smiley Toon TV. If you enjoyed this journey, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you never miss an awakening moment. Leave your thoughts in the comments, and let's continue the conversation. Stay curious and keep expanding your mind.